वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Chapter 3 verse 5. न हि कश्चित् क्षणमपि न हि कश्चित् क्षणमपि जातु तिष्ठत्यकर्मकृत् जातु तिष्ठत्यकर्मकृत् कार्यते ह्यवशः कर्म कार्यते ह्यवशः कर्म सर्वः प्रकृतिजैर्गुणैः सर्वप्रकृतिजैर्गुणैः. There is no one who can remain without action even for a moment. Indeed, all beings are compelled to act by their qualities born of material nature, the three guna. We are discussing this, and he has very clearly mentioned that directly or indirectly we are going to engage ourselves in action. Only thing, whether we get attached to that or not. The gnani, for that we will see a little later, for them the Geetakar has used the word sarvaha. So it's going to happen, and very specifically they have mentioned hiyavashaha, helplessly, helpless, meaning whether you want to or you don't want to, but it's still going to happen. Because that's nature. Now, furthermore, it says that there are two states of prakriti: active, gross, and inactive, subtle. Performance of action is the active state, while remaining idle in sleep, etc., is the inactive state. But even in the inactive state, nature does not remain inactive. And underline that sentence. For an example, we are sleeping, okay? But blood circulation is still going to take place. Kidney will still function. Lungs will still function. So, even in the inactive state, nature does not remain inactive, and activity goes on in its subtle form. When a person, they have given the example here, When a person is awakened by someone, he says that he was aroused in half sleep. This proves that the process of sleep continued even in the inactive state. In the same way, activity continues in a trance, dissolution, and a final dissolution, etc., in its subtle form. In fact, nature never remains inactive because it is ever changing in the self. Spirit or soul, there is no doership. That is important. Spirit or soul, there is no doership, but having assumed, again, underline the sentence, having assumed its affinity for bodies, etc., the evolutes of nature, it becomes helpless under the control of nature. It is because of helplessness that, though being a non-doer, assumes itself as a doer. All the actions of the universe, such as seeing, hearing, breathing, digestion of food, etc., are performed by nature. So is the case with the state of childhood and youth, but the embodied soul is bound by regarding itself as the doer of some action. Right. Whether we do something, what did we do? But we were at some point children. Okay. Entered into youth and approaching towards. So it happens. It happens. Nature constantly undergoes changes, while in the purer self there is never any change. That we need to understand, because the indwelling power, the Shakti, the Atma, there is no change in it. Whatever change we see, whatever change we witness, that's all the external, all the physical, all due to nature. The moment we get attached with that, the moment we get involved in that, then the problem starts. In fact, the worldly things have no existence of their own. The kaleidoscopic heap seems to exist in the form of things. When a man assumes his affinity for things, he cannot remain without performing actions, even for a moment in any state. So, in short, if you understand this, okay, the whole game is about the attachment. About the attachment. And that is the real lesson or teaching or preaching of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So, once we are in this world, material world, okay, so we will not be able to remain without any action. But when we act, do we get involved, attached, or not? That is the most important question one should ask to himself or herself. That is important. And that's why I will always give the example for our day to day life. Day to day life. And then we complain. I have done so many things. But end of the day, what did I get? You are touched. If you would have done it without attaching, then now you don't have to suffer the pain. Because pain also, who created it? I always give the example that our life is like a spider web. Who creates the web for spider? Spider himself. And then he gets stuck. Exactly with ourselves also. We create our own web and get stuck. Be it social, business, it can be anything. So that is more important. Now, I would like to take you for the teaching from Swami Vivekananda in these regards. Very nicely explained that also. Again, he has translated that no one can live even for a moment without doing work. Everyone without his will is made to do work by the qualities born of Prakriti. No one can live without work even for a second. Breathing is work, eating is work, walking is work, talking is work, joining Geeta class also work, listening to work. So, it is known to all that work is a part of life itself. It's a part, yes, it's a part of life. It's a part of our lives. Accept the Gnani. Everyone else is subject to Maya, Prakriti. And the impulses of the mind compel all people to do some kind of work or other according to their nature. The scholar cannot live without the study of books. Nowadays, we cannot live browsing the WhatsApp. That's a reality with all of us. The idler cannot live without aimless wandering. The learned and the ignorant are acting under the power of the qualities born of Prakriti. Each, according to his nature, is doing some work or other, over which he has no control. The law applies to all beings in the world. Animal and birds work according to their nature. Each has its own peculiar characteristics. Man, being endowed with reason means buddhi, intellect, may, we normally don't, but Swami Vivekananda has explained it very well, may choose the work, but what is the chosen is also according to his nature. So we have a choice. I mean, we have some time, half an hour. We have a choice to scroll the WhatsApp messages, to scroll Instagram reel, or to take book and read it. Even in book, we still have a choice which book to read, because there are some books for reading, entertainment, or information, but there are books, and those are for study, not only to read. Not only to read. So that's again we have a choice. So it is true that all prompted by Prakriti. Here the word Sarvaha is used with only the single exception of that Gnani who has become a Jivan Mukt by direct realization of the Supreme. Jivan Mukt, if you have to translate Jivan Mukt, realized soul or developed soul. Having attained the Brahmi Sthiti, toward the end of last chapter, second chapter, we have seen that verse, Esha Brahmi Sthiti Partha, right? So, having attained the Brahmi Sthiti, the Gnani transcends the Guna, and so he is not moved by the impulses arising from the qualities of nature. But since he has a body that is the instrument of Prakriti, he uses it just for maintaining life. So Gnani, the realized soul, Jivan Mukta soul, Jivan Mukta person, okay, certain thing he will be doing, but for maintaining the life. That is more important, because our Shastra, our scripture has very clearly mentioned Shariram idam khalu dharma sadhanam. Even we want to understand the dharma, even if we want to walk on the path of spirituality, even we want to discover all the secrets of the universe, how are you going to do? Without body, it's not happening. It's not possible. That's why our sages has mentioned Shariram idam khalu dharma sadhanam. Even you want to understand, to know, the body is an instrument, to know that. So, in that respect or in that context, if we have to look after the body, that's fine. That's fine. Because with this body, you will be able to that. Okay? Right? So, even, we think that you want to go to Mandir daily. If there is no body, it's not possible. Even if the body is there, but if it is not looked after properly, I won't be able to go. So in that context, the word is here, the Gnani, the Jivan Mukh. The sentence is used. He uses it just for maintaining the life. Because we need to learn, we need to know, we want to discover the secrets. He is perfectly detached from the vehicle of action. So, the person has to walk from his house to Mandir. I am giving an example. So, to walk is again an action. But what is described here, how it is described here, he is perfectly detached from the vehicle of action. So that we need to understand. The ignorant people who are every minute dragged and whirled about in all directions by the forces of nature need not, however, be discouraged. They should first of all understand that they have become slaves to certain modes of thought and action which they have themselves created, as I told you earlier with the spider web in previous birth. Knowing it, they should undertake some form of discipline and by their own effort overcome bad by good karma. Most important thing in anybody's life, be it you, me, or anybody, is the discipline. We start it, but we can't maintain it. No, from tomorrow I really want to get up at 4:30 and want to uh, do some pranayam, or those who are fond of meditation want to do some meditation or want to do some japa. 4:30 means 4:30. That might last for a couple of days, and if you are lucky, might last for a couple of weeks. Then, so for the progress, for the real spiritual development, discipline is most important. My elderly always used to tell us that, okay, keep the discipline in your life. If you can't engage yourself, for an example, that I will be reading 5 verses from Bhagavad Geeta or Bhagavad. Even take the newspaper and keep a discipline that without reading, I mean, in those days there was no WhatsApp, no email, no Facebook. Without reading even the editorial of newspaper, okay, I will not sleep. At least take some. The most important is discipline, and that discipline will take us definitely on the next level. So that's why it's here written, they should undertake some form of discipline and by their own effort overcome bad by good karma. Surrender the fruits of work to the Lord. And after discipline, okay, after doing for certain time, fruits will be there. Fruits will be coming in our lives. But that should be surrender to His lotus feet. When I'm talking about this discipline, Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Patanjali have very clearly mentioned, Satu Nairantarya Dirghakala Satkaro Sevita Dhradabhumi. To achieve something in one's life, constant and for long time, not for a couple of days or a couple of weeks. Then you'll be able to achieve the goal. So, surrender the fruits of work to the Lord and gradually purify their mind and become Jivan Mukt in the end. Underline the word here, and gradually purify their mind. It's not going to happen overnight, gradually. So, of course, we are living in the world of instant now, but when it comes to path of spirituality, there is no instant. There is no instant. Gradually, slowly. It doesn't happen overnight. So purify their mind and become Jivan Mukta. So here we are completing the verse 5 of chapter 3. Okay. In today's discussion, whatever you like, credit goes to all the sages, all the scholar, all the great men, all the scripture, whatever I have heard, I have read, I have studied. Absolutely nothing belongs to me. Our main reference book is our Sadhak Sanjivani by Ram Sukdas Ji Swami, and today I have discussed from Swami Vivekananda's explanation too. Okay. It's about 8 o'clock and I'm not going to take the next verse. We will take the next verse next week. 73rd verse of 18th chapter, followed by the Arti. Nasto moha smrutirlabdha tvatprasadanmayachyuta sthitosme gatasandeha karesye vachanam tava.